So obviously Darren Purse very heavily involved at Cardiff City, and it was a great start to the season for their first team at the weekend, winning at home against Norwich, which was a big team to beat. How's the vibe around the club at the moment?
To be fair, the vibe since the start of pre-season has been unbelievable. It's been a huge turnover of players with the first team. I think if you look at where they was at the end of last season, there was a lot of players sort of not coming to the end of their career, but sort of getting to their sort of mid-30s, early 30s. And to be fair to Steve Morrison, the manager, he's had a massive turn. I think we've signed 13 players over this pre-season, which is huge. So from that point of view, it's been new to everybody, a new brand of football, a new style of football that the manager's trying to put through the club. And obviously going into the first game of the season, it paid dividends by beating Norwich 1-0, which is a great result because Norwich are going to be one of the title favourites. You expect them to be up there come the end of the season, but the performance was good. The boys were really up for it and ended up getting a result that they probably deserved as well.
Absolutely. And this weekend, you've got Reading away. What's the feeling around that game?
I think the same again. Reading are probably tipped to go down. They're in that sort of bottom rung of the ladder. They're tipped to go down. I think they drew their last game. I believe it was the weekend. But from that, we just go there and see what points we can pick up. Away from home, it's always going to be tough. The Championship is probably the toughest league in not only sort of England, it's probably the toughest league in Europe. The number of games you have to play and the standard of the opposition. So anything you can get from any game is a bonus. But we're a good young side. I think we proved that against Norwich, and we'll have to see where we are come the game against Reading. But everybody's up for it. There's a real, as you said earlier, a real vibe around the club, and we'll see where it can take us this year.
Any players for us to look out for at Cardiff? And you're probably very well positioned to tell us that, particularly with the youngsters that you've got in your hands coming through. Who should we look out for?
I think we are a very young squad this year. I think if you look at the likes of we've got someone like Ruben Colwill, who is obviously a Welsh international. He'll be going to the World Cup with Wales in the summer. In November. So he's probably a big one. Someone like Mark Harris, Sparky, who's a wide player, sort of stroke centre forward, quick. People love watching him play because he's nimble. He drives at defences and can score goals. Isaac Davis, another young one who's come through. So we've got a real abundance of young players coming into the squad that have all come from the 23s over the last sort of 12, 18 months, and they're trying to stamp their authority on the first team and trying to make careers for themselves. And so I'd say they're probably three of the younger ones coming through that have stepped up from the 23s. But we've got some real characters within the squad. Ryan Allsop, Rocky's the goalkeeper. He's a real character. He likes to play out from the back. I think the fans are really buzzing about having him in. That's probably the feedback from the weekend is how good he was. So, some good characters, some good players, and we'll see where the season goes.